Welcome to the Rusted Garden Homestead. I just got done planting potatoes through most of my garden, and more specifically into this 100-gallon root pouch. Now, these are cardboard tubes. These are for indeterminate potatoes. The video will show you how I set up this entire space. But I think this is the first time that this has been on YouTube. Haven't seen it anywhere. I did this last year, so I guess I get to claim this as the Rusted Garden tube potato method. It's for the indeterminate potatoes because they send up a vine, and if you backfill, you cover up the vine, you end up getting more potatoes. If you just dug a hole into the container, the soil's going to collapse in. So you just set up the space with these tubes made of cardboard, drop your potato down there, and then you backfill as the potato grows. Let me answer a couple questions before we get started. These are the potato tubes that I'm going to show you how to make through the video for growing the indeterminate potato. And again, these tubes allow you to do some backfilling without having cumbersome piles of dirt everywhere. I'll explain that in the video. People ask me, where do you get potatoes to grow? Well, you can get them from organic stores. They will grow just fine. You can buy them in bags, boxes, different shapes, different sizes, different varieties. You can find them in the big box stores. You can order them online, and you can order your seed potatoes now. You have time. Just a side note, I grow the early potatoes that mature within 70 to 90 days. I grow them twice. I grow them beginning of March, and I put in another round kind of later, June, maybe beginning of July. The potatoes aren't as big during the summer because it's really hot, but you can still grow them a second time. And you can even grow them in the fall if you have a long enough season. Potato types. You have the basic determinate variety potato, and this is one of them. This is either a red Pontiac or a red Norland. Well, first of all, if you can let your potatoes sit inside where it's warm a little bit, they're going to chit, they're going to put out some green growth. They don't have to be this big, just a little bud coming off the side there. They may look, even if they look a little bit like this, where you see the little green starting to come up, that just gives them a little jump start, before you put them into the ground. It's not a must, but this is called chitting, where you let the eyes begin to form the greenery that's kind of popping out. So the determinate variety potatoes, and believe it or not, it's hard to find out online, a true list of determinate and indeterminate potatoes. So the determinate varieties, you just plant down 4 to 6 inches, that's 10 to 15 centimeters, and they're going to grow, they're going to send up the stalk, it's going to come out of the surface, and somewhere around where the green stem meets the roots, 4 to 6 inches deep, it forms one cluster of potatoes. And that's the only place that it forms the potatoes. Those are the determinate varieties. Why is that important? Because you don't need these potato tubes for the determinate varieties. You would just dig down 4 to 6 inches, drop your potato in, let it grow, take care of it, and then you're going to harvest it there. Now you have indeterminate potatoes, meaning that green stem keeps growing up, and if you keep mounding soil on it, you're going to get different levels of potatoes really growing out of the stem. So instead of just one cluster where the stem meets the root for the determinates, generally speaking, you could get 2, 3, 4 clusters of potatoes through that whole sort of vine of the potato. So, and the variety that I'm going to be planting today is a russet potato. Those are indeterminate varieties. So if I just put the indeterminate variety down 4 to 6 inches and then it grows all the stem up here, I got to get soil and mound it up. And it's kind of hard to do in the ground in a container. So what I'm going to show you how to do is you build a tube out of cardboard. So you can get down there a good 12 inches or so, put the potato in, and then when it grows 4 to 6 inches, you add in some soil, add in some more soil, and you have the stem essentially growing from here all the way up, and then potatoes will come out in different places. And it's just an easy, convenient way to really grow indeterminate variety potatoes without having to bring in tons of extra soil and mounding everything up. The other question I get is, what type of fertilizer should I use and how much do I put into my garden? So it's really up to you. So this is a chemical type fertilizer. Keep in mind, all things on the planet are chemicals. Organic fertilizers, the chemical types that people make, chemicals. Water is a chemical. So don't get bogged down with the idea that a chemical is bad. Everything's a chemical. So we have the organic fertilizer, which I like to use. That's Plant Tone. That's like a 533 NP and K. This is a chemical fertilizer made by people. It's a 10-10-10. It's perfect for potatoes because potatoes are heavy feeders, and this fertilizer is a lot cheaper. Now, the plants can't tell the difference between these fertilizers. Using the chemical types in a sensible way is never going to harm you, your plants, or your soil. If you just use them 24/7, that's an issue. So I use both when I'm growing potatoes, and I'll talk a little bit about that. How much to put into there? That's a tough question. Remember that compost, and I recommend compost because these guys over here are just like vitamins. You're just tossing them in to help the plants along. Your soil, for the soil life to really thrive, it needs organic matter. It needs compost. And compost is well below a 1:1:1 NP and K, which is well below the numbers on here. You could grow potatoes perfectly fine in soil that is filled with compost. The potatoes are going to grow, they're going to do well. So you don't have to over worry about the right amounts of potassium and phosphorus and nitrogen in there. You just have to give them some organic granular. I recommend throwing in compost if you have it. The potatoes are going to do really well. So how do I set up my containers? So with something this big, I do take some of the soil out, throw it into a wheelbarrow, and then I just get really 2 or 3 big handfuls of the organic granular, throw it across the surface, mix it in, put the soil back in for the top, do the same thing, mix it through. I like using the 10-10-10 because it's high in phosphorus and potassium. Potatoes are heavy feeders, they like to use that. So I'll take a handful of this and I'll scatter it down across the bottom, sometimes instead of the organic, sometimes in addition to the organic, sometimes I put some on top. The point being is that when you read the instructions on here, it'll say X amount per 100 square feet. What it doesn't do is it doesn't take into account what's already in the bed. If you have a big garden like me, your beds vary in NP and K. You can do soil tests, but it costs a lot of money to test all your beds. They vary. So I just go with a basic, 2 or 3 handfuls across a space like this for my potatoes, and really anything that I'm planting in there. Mix it through if it's the organic granular. If it's the 10-10-10, I might just take 1 handful, sprinkle it through, mix it in. Those are your dry fertilizers. These are slow releases. That's what your potatoes want, slow and steady feeding. If you have compost, put in several inches of compost, mix it through. That's what makes your soil life thrive, not these products over here. It's the compost. And it gets really confusing. I have lots of videos on feeding and fertilizing, but it's just a basic setup. Scatter in your compost, or scatter in your fertilizers as you wish, as you feel is best. And then if you can, add in your organic matter. Your beds are set up and they're ready to go. Weed it out, put in 4 big shovelfuls of my leaf compost. So it's got everything in there. In past videos, you may have seen me put in triple phosphate, some potash, other things in there. That's fine, you can do that. I just found over time I want to simplify things. So I like the 10-10-10 chemical type fertilizer when I need to really increase those things. And then organic fertilizer most of the time, otherwise organic water soluble fertilizer. And I use a lot of compost that I make. This is going to set up this container perfectly. You're just going to want to get a shovel in there. If you're using the fabric pots, I sell these at my seed and garden shop too. These are 100-gallon pots. I sell 20s and 10s. You just want to be careful with the shovel because I have put it through the side. Otherwise these have been here for 5 years. They do a great job. You want to mix this down almost to the bottom. I'm going to do that, off camera, and just mix it well all the way through. That's going to set up a perfect planting base for your potatoes. I'm going to shoot this with my shadow so that you can see down into the planting hole. So this is about, I don't know, maybe 14 inches deep. Dug a hole all the way down to the bottom, and that's where the indeterminate variety potato is going to go, down at the bottom. I'm going to drop some soil down. I'll show you how I do that. If I drop the potato down there now, covered it over, and it had to grow through 14, 16 inches of soil, it may not make it. So what you do with the indeterminate varieties is sometimes you would make a trench if you're out in your garden, or you fill a container halfway, and then as the greenery grows about 4 inches, you backfill, you cover it again, just leave the tips, and it keeps growing. The cardboard's going to go around here to keep this from collapsing, and as the potato is growing upward, I'm going to backfill it with other material, maybe from here if I have extra, or I have a wheelbarrow full of other stuff. But that will allow me to grow a nice long potato stem all the way through here. And being in the indeterminate variety, I'll probably get at least 2 layers of potatoes. I'll get more potatoes basically by doing a backfilling versus the determinates, which will go right in the middle, 4 to 6 inches deep, and I'll just let them do their thing. All right, let me get the cardboard, and I'm gonna actually set this up 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 holes in here. We'll see how I decide to, build this as I'm going along. But next step is a cardboard just to make a basic cylinder. Here's the basic setup, and it's gonna vary in dimensions based on how large your container is. So with respect to the depth, it was about 14 inches. That's like 35 centimeters. And the hole going across is 9, 10 inches, about 25 centimeters. This is the insert. Where it overlaps here, you want to push that against the outer part of the container because I don't really need anything growing over there. It doesn't have to overlap this much. And then you can see where it's growing out into the container. I put some slits in there just for the roots to be able to grow out. The cardboard is going to get wet over time. It's going to be soft. The potatoes will be able to grow through there, but putting in the extra slits will help. And when you open this up, it was 14 inches tall. Again, I think that's about 35 centimeters. And it was like 2 feet wide going across, something like that. You just need enough material so that you can create the circle and just keep the kind of the tunnel that's going down from collapsing. Even though it's a hole, you're kind of just creating support as if you were, going into the tunnel. Then the earth's not going to fall in on top of you. This way, it's not going to fall in around the potato. And then we're just going to backfill over time as that potato grows. And, any kind of cardboard, a couple of slits in there, that works really well. You could technically do this in an earth bed, but then you're digging down pretty deep, and you're gonna have to dig down deep to get to the potatoes. That's why in the earth grown indeterminate varieties, they usually do a trench, maybe, 10, 12 inches deep, and then they mound up on top so that the mound is coming up higher, and it's easier to hill the potatoes and then get to them than going down so far. But in the container, this is a great way to do it. Last year when I experimented with this, I had them spread out around the container, and it was a little bit of trouble. It wasn't that big of a deal, but by keeping them all on one side, it's a lot easier to manage them. So the indeterminate potatoes are going to go over here. Now, the problem is sometimes when you do searches online, you don't find accurate information. So I have russet potatoes, which like 90% of the research says that they're indeterminate. Some say determinate, which I think is wrong. And these are French fingerlings. About 75% of the search says that they're indeterminate. The other ones say they're determinate variety. Now, I've grown French fingerlings before, and they grow these massively long vines, so I'm pretty sure that they're indeterminate variety. So just make sure you do some research and you're putting in the indeterminate varieties into the tube. All we're gonna do is fill the bottom with about 2 inches of soil and then drop in the potato. Just press it in like that, and then put another 2 inches or so on top of that. That's all you really want to do. And when that grows above this, maybe 4 inches or so, you add in some more soil, and then as another 4 inches more soil. And then when it comes up to here, the cardboard should be fine at that point where it's like wet, soggy, everything's growing through it. You could pull the cardboard out if you want, but then you could even mound up a little bit. And that's why it's a little bit easier keeping the determinate varieties over here and the indeterminates over here, because there is a chance that you could mound up these larger containers a little bit more. But this will happen over the next really 4 to 6 weeks, maybe 8 weeks. I'll be mounding and filling the tubes, and these should do really, really well. The indeterminate varieties take anywhere from like 90 to 110 days to mature. That's the other reason I want to keep them on this side. The determinate variety potatoes, these are Kennebecs, and I'm just going to go down about 4 inches, drop it in, cover it over. These can mature anywhere from 70 to 90 days, so I can dig out this side mostly and leave this side undisturbed. But that's the basic setup for getting these potatoes into the ground. Determinate 4 to 6 inches. Indeterminates, you want to mound up the green growth over time because they're going to produce potatoes all along that stem. The potatoes are planted. If you're concerned that the cardboard might wick water away from the potato roots, go ahead and cut it back, or when it's wet, you can just tear it away. This works really well for indeterminate potatoes when you're growing in these larger containers. Again, these are 100-gallon root pouches. I sell them at my seed and garden shop. I put in actually 2 potatoes into each hole. I put in a French fingerling and a russet. I don't necessarily recommend that, but I'm doing a little bit of an experiment. By using these tubes, it gives the container depth. The potato will grow in different places, being an indeterminate variety. I also like kind of mixing it up, putting the determinates back there. This way, from planting, in about 90 days, I'm harvesting the determinates. 20 days later, I'm harvesting the potatoes out of here, so I'm getting full use out of this bag over a 90 to 120 day period. Thanks so much for watching. Please check out my seed shop at therustedgarden.com. I sell tomato and pepper seeds for $1.75 a pack. All other seeds are only $1.50. Again, thanks for watching.